Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new chapter of the podcast, Inclusivity Unlocked. We're both part of the project Go for Green 3 in the city of Craiova in Romania. This is an Erasmus funded project. And today we're gonna talk about ecology, which is the main target of our association, Ante. But we're gonna link it with the world of relationships, and we're gonna find out how both concepts are actually connected. First of all, my name is Borja. I'm 29 years old, Spanish.
I'm Marius. I'm 20 years old, Romanian Spanish.
Ecology. There's a concept that is buy, throw, buy again, which means you buy something, it doesn't work, and then instead of fixing it, you try to replace it. What do you think about this topic?
I think it's actually one universal truth nowadays, and I think it's very relevant, not only in ecology, but in our day to day life. Because people, we as a society, have become so lazy of actually trying to fix something. We have become so lazy of actually trying to find a solution to any problem at this point that we just change when we don't like something. Like, oh, I had a little tear in this t-shirt, I'm gonna tear it and buy another one. Or I had a fight with one of my friends, maybe I'm gonna stop talking to that person and find another friends. That's
Okay.
pretty much how it goes. I see how it goes in most of the cases, and I think it's sad, to be honest. It's sad.
Yeah, I think with relationships is you feel more the impact. Like it's more human, obviously, more emotional. But let's say when something was broken, like some electronics or some goods, were you able to repair them, or would you just get a replacement?
I mean, it depends. It depends a lot on some factors. First, how broke is it? How broken is it in the first place? Because if it's like a minor thing, a minor issue that you can actually repair and have the goods back, that's easy, that's simple. But if you had, I don't know, your toaster underwater, I don't think you can repair that.
Probably not. Probably not. There's a point where, yeah, I guess you can.
It depends on the intensity mostly. Yeah. How bad was it?
Well, myself, I used to be very interested on when something was broken, actually, especially electronics. I didn't do it. I didn't try to repair them because ecology itself, it was just something I would like to do, like investigate, search for the parts that would need to exchange. But as the years came by, I stopped doing it. Now it's more like, as you said, it's broken. I would get something else.
I think it's like when we grow up at some point and realize that maybe some things are just not worth fighting for when it comes to relationships.
There are.
But some of them are not. Like if you have a person that's like the toaster. Okay, you fix and you fix and you fix and you fix. You talk to that person, you manage to have peace for 2 weeks, and then you're just fighting and fighting and fighting again. Do you think that's actually something worth keeping and keep on repairing?
Good point. If you're fighting every week, then there's probably something deep that is not working for you guys. But that's the point. When do you realize it is really broken, like the toaster? Or on the other hand, you could actually work on it?
I think you can actually feel it at some point.
I mean, in your guts.
Yeah, I feel like at some point your feelings per se become like very different when you're looking to that person, when you're talking to that person, and you're near that person. You know, it's like the sense that something is not okay between you. I think that's how it goes, at least.
Yeah, I understand there are some aspects of the person that you can work on them, and there are other aspects which are just very deep, and you're not gonna change. I don't think people really change. They can change some behaviors, but like the personality is always gonna be there, and you cannot change it.
Throw that toaster. It's burned.
Yeah, throw the toaster before you get electricity on your body. The next one is commodification of love. It's more about how love can be marketed and how you can make business out of it. For example, on Valentine's Day, wedding businesses. So it's like consumerism. Again, we're talking about ecology. Is also affecting the relationships. For example, yeah, the most important one, like Valentine's Day, like your girlfriend or boyfriend, they are expecting a present, right?
Yeah.
So, do you really need to provide something, buy something in that day, or should you just do it when you feel it or when this person actually needs something?
I actually don't believe it's very controversial, but I don't believe in like romantic holidays or like any type of things like this. For me, Valentine's Day is just another day like any other else. I don't think if you love someone and you don't buy them flowers on Valentine's Day or candy or whatever the presents usually are, you don't love that person. Because a present should be what you feel and when you feel. Like, for instance, I love you, okay? So I will give you when I feel like it, what I feel will suit you in that moment. Can be flowers, can be chocolates, can be a teddy bear, can be something minimal, but that just made me feel think about you. You know, it's not about, oh my god, in this special day, I have to do this special thing, so that special person knows I love her. I think it shouldn't go like that. You shouldn't have one day to show your love. You should show your love whenever you feel like showing it.
I think you could have some detail because okay, that's the day. Same like it's your birthday, so let's do something special.
Yeah.
But not necessarily fall into the industry and buy this perfume that day, or necessarily get something physical. You know?
Yeah.
You can do something else. You can write a poem. That's
Exactly.
romantic.
Exactly. And also, I never understood, like, you know, when you don't get something and the other person gets mad. Like,
It happens.
yeah, all my friends got flowers, all my friends got rings and blushes and things, and you didn't get me nothing. It's because you don't love me. Because it's Valentine's Day and you should have done something for me. You know, there's another thing that I saw that nowadays in the community by itself, it's you should do this for me. It's not like, do you want to do it? No, 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 you should do it for me to show me some things.
Indeed, but says who? I mean, who established this? It's just you're comparing yourself with the others.
I think it just started like that, yeah, like a societal norm. Like most of the things we usually do, like to have to be dressed in some sort of way, to have to present yourself in sort of the way in public context, because it's just the popular opinion. So I think that started also like that, like a social trend, and now it's like something we live somehow by in our day to day life.
Right. You follow the leader.
Yeah.
You follow the mass.
Which is not very good, but it's how things are working right now, I
Let's
guess.
go to the next topic. It's called image over substance. This is more related to social media, appearances, branding. So it's people sometimes are focusing on the surface, so they don't go that deep. Again, materialism, consumerism. It's like it doesn't matter that much. So this person is like, what can I get from it? How do you think social media is affecting the relationships nowadays?
I think social media is awful.
I really agree on that.
I use most of the platforms, including TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and I am addicted. I'm literally addicted to TikTok. Like every time I uninstall it, I go 1 month without it, and then I just come back like a boomerang.
Oh damn.
You know, like it's horrible. But I'm not the only one, because I see every person like standing on the phone all day, and at the end of the day, you see 6 hours, 7 hours, 9 hours just scrolling on TikTok.
Yeah.
Social media, especially Instagram and TikTok, because Facebook is now mostly used by the older generations.
Boomers.
Pretty much, yeah. Even though I still have an account to talk to my boomer friends,
Of course.
it's the most toxic thing you can get, because there are many people who actually say like everything you see, it's not an actual real image of someone, and especially now that we have the AI who can edit pictures and create images, I think it's going to be even worse. Because okay, I have on my Instagram pictures, but obviously I'm just gonna choose the ones in which I think I look best.
Yeah, to show off.
To show off that I look good in that moment. Obviously, I'm gonna stay in an angle that benefits me and makes me look hotter for picture. Obviously, maybe, well, I don't personally, but I have many friends who edit the pictures before posting them, like taking off imperfections, whitening teeth a little bit, lightening or darkening skin. I mean, most of the things we see are not actually real. And one of the crazy fact that I actually learned about social media, it's so effective also because you cannot smell the person that you're seeing. Because actually, when you perceive a person, when you meet it for the first time, you're not only looking at the way the person presents, but also you acknowledge how the person smells, and you create an opinion on looking and smelling the person.
Indeed, actually, biologically, smell is very important.
Yeah.
From what I heard from other podcasts, actually, is that you can detect by the smell if your immune system is matching with the other person's immune system. So, like, your child will be like more powerful and able to survive.
Because we are, after all, animals still.
Yeah, absolutely. Biology is really important.
Smell people. Not in a weird way, but you should smell people before talking to them.
Actually, also for the audience, because you mentioned AI actually consumes water, so you should keep it in mind. We've done some a project about it, and research that you do on Google or on ChatGPT, it actually has an impact on the footprint.
Think
So keep it in
about
mind.
it. Think that every message you send to ChatGPT consumes about 2 liters of water. Imagine having full on blown conversations every day with it. Like, imagine the quantity of water that only one person can actually evaporate just by using ChatGPT in the comfort of your home.
With what you said. And what people often don't see is that when you present yourself from the surface, then you're gonna attract people based on that. So, and I have this problem myself, but if you don't show yourself how you truly are, then people are gonna come to you. You're gonna attract people, maybe even more. But these people that you're gonna attract are not the ones that are gonna love you because of what you are. They love you because of what you show to them.
I think here is mostly pretty privilege. You know about pretty privilege?
No, can you explain?
Okay, so pretty privilege, it's when you are pretty and you are privileged.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. So there's some studies about this, and people that tend to be prettier or that people perceive as hotter usually have more privilege than the rest of the people. Like people tend to like you faster, to trust you faster. They tend to think positively about you because you're good looking. They tend to have the idea that you're a good person also because you're good looking. So pretty much that's pretty privilege. You know, you have the privilege of lying actually to people that you're nice if you actually aren't.
Yeah, yeah, it's an advantage. I've also read about that in my studies, and it's a fact. It's surprising, but it's true. I mean, we're talking about different things, but at the end, when do you conform? When are you able to say, like, okay, this person I found, which is possibly your partner, is actually the person, it's actually the person. I don't have to look for anything else. I'm good as I am. How can you say this? How can you be sure nowadays?
I mean, it's very hard to actually come to an answer to this question because, as I was telling you before, starting the podcast, in these times that we're living, people actually think that they have many choices, many things to choose from. For instance, let's put it on the real plane right now, okay? Physical plane. You have to go to the market to do groceries, and you are standing in the hallway with cereal. You want to buy cereal to have with milk in the morning. Yeah. You just look at the wall and you see with chocolate, with vanilla, with strawberries, crunchy, less crunchy, with filling, without filling, from this brand, from this brand, from this brand. Which one do you choose?
Personally, I choose the one that has no sugar and the one that is more healthy.
Okay, but next week, will you choose the same?
Personally, I would because I have discipline and self control. But I know what you were trying to say, and it's a good metaphor.
It's horrible because we're, as a people, as community at this point, as a society, not only as a community, we are so deep brainwashed that we have so many opportunities to pick from, and that we can just go and try everything, and at some point we can come back to one thing. You can go and try everything, but I'm not sure that you will actually be able to come back when you decide, because people move forward, and it's the same in the relationships. I think people think they have more options, and they're gonna go like, okay, I want someone taller, or I want someone richer, or I want someone, I don't know, lighter eyes, or darker eyes, or with a beard, or with more muscles, or whatever. But they don't take in consideration that maybe that person who is not that physically appealing maybe treats you good, maybe has a nice personality, maybe it's actually what you need. And it gives you that comfort, you know?
It definitely has something because you chose it in the first place.
Exactly. But no, you want to move to the hotter, taller, more muscular, more anything one that maybe has no personality at all. And then you have lost something. You cannot go back to that after you've tried both of them. So you can either stay with the bad one or stay alone. And that's just over and over and over and over when we think we can find better. Sometimes we do find better, but in most of the cases, we find something worse than what we had prior.
Yeah, I mean, if you take in consideration a certain aspect of the person, then yeah, you can improve this aspect or some of them. But at the end, you're not gonna find a person that is better in every single aspect, probably. So you choose some of them you consider important, but like the whole picture at the end is what matters.
Exactly. Exactly. It's the same thing with ecology. You can use the same pattern that you have here also in our day-to-day lives as humans, because as I was saying with the cereal, that applies to everything. That
Yeah,
applies to everything, because talking about clothes, okay, we mostly buy from fast fashion. We get bored of it as the tendencies pass and roll by. And what do we do with them? We just pile them in a corner until they are very old and we throw them away and keep on buying, keep on buying. we never actually settle to something. For me, personally, when I buy clothes, I like to buy less, but I'm looking for good materials. I love soft materials, but also resistant materials, like the ones I'm wearing right now. And I'm gonna wear these after days after days after days after days until it breaks. And when it breaks, I'm gonna repair it, and I'm gonna still gonna wear it because I kind of have an emotional connection to my clothes at some point. Like it's very hard for me to leave a piece that I like a lot, just not wear it anymore or give it.
That's a good thing. About myself, I have Motorola phone. It's worth 200 euros. It does pretty much everything that I need. So why would I get the latest iPhone or the latest Samsung? Because also every several months, new model is appearing. So it's like, oh, it's better. The camera is a little bit better, or it's a little bit more powerful. Yeah, but I mean, do you really need that? Is it really gonna make a difference in your life? You know?
I actually saw a video on this topic, like right before coming in here. It was an influencer who was mocking another influencer. When the new iPhone came out, the person made a video saying something like, "Oh no, I don't have that much memory on my phone anymore, and I also got some scratches on it, so I'm just gonna buy the new iPhone 17 Pro Max."
Consumption.
Hmm.
So this is about quick gratification, comfort, validation, excitement, much like consuming a product. It's like you consume people. Because, well, as we know, when you start a relationship of any kind, then you're naturally more excited to meet this new person. You're getting to know each other. You're finding out about each other's lives, and then that can be exciting. But that's not lasting. Obviously, when after a few months, then that's gonna decrease and even disappear.
Mm.
I don't think love is the butterflies. The love comes afterwards when you really know each other, and despite you know pretty much everything about this person, you decide to stay and still love it.
Actually, the butterflies are fear. I saw that in a study at some point.
A fear about?
Fear about the person, fear about unknown of the person.
Is it fear or is it excitement about the unknown?
They say it's fear. I have no idea if it can be mixed, but mostly they say it's fear.
So fear is attracted.
Apparently, somehow.
I think mystery is attracted, but
On what you said about quick feelings and knowing each other for some months, I think it's also a social media effect, not gonna lie. Because you know how you just scroll on TikTok and you have short videos that gives you like little hints of dopamine
yeah, every time.
every time it's like smoking also. With every cigarette you get some hormones that make you feel a little bit better. So continue and continue and continue. I think it's the same thing with meeting the new people because, as you said, also it's curiosity for the unknown, and it's just exciting, to start something new, start knowing some new person. But after a time, when you get used to each other, it gets boring, and you need to feel that again and again and again. So you jump from one relationship to another, to another, to another, and every time you actually accommodate to a person, you let that person go because you need that new start again. So you have that um sentiment again when it's there.
Yeah, I think boredom is connected and is central on this case. People nowadays are scared to be bored. That's why they do doom scrolling on TikTok or they rush from a relation to another one because I feel they are scared or we are scared of just being bored alone, sitting down or laying down just with your thoughts. It's like we're scared of that and we quickly search for a movie, a podcast, social media, some kind of entertainment to not be alone with ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's also why we have so many mental health problems. because the way we're wiring our brain is just completely anti-natural.
Mm. When I worked as a nurse, when I had my practice, actually, I will see the patients who were waiting to enter the consult. All of them were on the phones. Old, young, no one was talking to anybody. No one was actually doing anything else. They were all just looking at the phones.
Not reading magazines or anything.
I think it's sad that we got at that point where you cannot be alone with yourself anymore because you feel comfortable being, well, not comfortable to be alone with yourself, and not having the actual comfort or just staying and thinking, or I don't know, blank staring to a wall and thinking about what you're gonna do during the day, or starting a conversation with the person next to you, just saying hi.
Yeah, you can always do it. They are there, right? The people, so you can.
I do
So,
this all the time, and people think I'm weird for actually talking to strangers, but it used to be like this for like years and years, and it is like this with the phones for like what, a couple of years. Before of that, people were actually talking to each other. Like even now, I'm in a train and the person in front of me is bored. I'm bored, so I'm just gonna say hi. Where are you going? What are you doing there? Who are you meeting?
yeah, yeah. I don't do it often, but sometimes, and you can really be entertained, discover something new,
Mm.
get to know a new person, and you never know. But human connections are important, especially the ones that are real, like this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's jump into some conclusions. I will start myself.
Please.
Um, Marius, as you know, for the last year I've been traveling, pretty much traveling and abroad, and obviously I did meet some people, but because I have this life and I have these projects and these things to do, I cannot really get into anything serious.
Mm.
So in a way, I don't have very much possibilities to get any deeper connections with anybody, and that's okay, and I accept it. But at the same time, I've been facing more what we've been talking about, like I don't know if materialism or consumerism, but it's like you don't really get to know the person, and we stay in the surface. Maybe you can talk about your personal life.
Well, as you know, I have been traveling for all my life in between countries. It's actually somehow recent that I moved in Romania and I stayed here. So for me, it's not that much romantic because I know I didn't like had this intention of finding a romantic someone because I always knew I couldn't have that because of going from one part to another. But it's very hard when it comes to platonic relationships and friendships.
Platonic,
Yeah.
like they are in your head.
No, platonic as like in friends.
Oh, like they can't be.
They can be, but it's hard to actually keep the friendship. That's the thing. Because I leave or they leave and we just stop talking for a period, and when you come it's not the same. It's not always the same. I think it's like we change as people, our environment changes also. And mostly I like to think that there is three kind of people that come in your life. The ones that are in your life for one night or one day, usually people that you learn a lesson to, you talk to them once and then you never talk again. The ones who are in your life for one season, like maybe some friends that, like we are, the group of volunteers, we were gonna be together for 2 weeks. And then who knows when we will see each other again. Yeah. So we've been practically together for one season.
Well, so then after two after I'm gone, then I will not know anything about you anymore.
No, I mean we can still communicate and things because we have each other's Instagrams, we have each other's phone numbers, but you will still be far, so you will not be actually in my life, in my day-to-day life. And then it's the people who stay with you forever. I think it's very rare to find a person that stays with you forever. It's usually that kind of person that they can move in India and you can be in the United States of America and you still have the same dynamic and the same connection. That's something I actually experienced with one of my friends who moved to Greece and he lives there now. And every time we speak or see each other on camera, we are the same as always. I actually went to visit him for one day and it didn't feel like he ever left. We were just so natural, we didn't feel the distance, we didn't feel the time apart. And then I have people that I know, which I do not talk for 2 or 3 days, and I already feel like I haven't seen them in a year. You know?
Yeah.
I think it's much more natural to have this dancing, if I can say, of not seeing each other for like an eternity and still feeling natural than not seeing a person for 2 days and feel like you haven't seen them for an eternity.
Yeah, indeed. I think the most important is not how often you see or you speak to each other. Maybe you speak once a year. But true friendship means when that happens, then it's like nothing changed. As you said, if you need something, that person is there for you, even if you haven't spoken for months. But you call them and they are there for you. And there's something my grandparents say, which is like your true friends, you meet them at the end of your life. Because it's like you never know what's gonna happen or if you're really gonna stay in touch. I don't like to think this way because then it's like you're always thinking of an end. Same with relationships, like you don't commit with somebody and then you are thinking about the end, right? You think about everything else, obviously. But yeah, I would say life is just more complicated nowadays. Also because of what you mentioned, like we have so many options. But same with life. Like you can travel anywhere very cheap. You can move abroad. Yeah. You can go to Australia, Canada. So then, because we have so many choices, then we feel unhappy because you don't know what to do anymore. Yeah. Life was just more simple back in times, and people were happy and they didn't have much topics.
Okay, guys. So pretty much this was the podcast for today. With you was Marius and Borja. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yeah. Click the bell so you get notified every time we film a new podcast. You can also find us on Spotify. And
pretty much it. Thanks for the conversation. It's been real nice. And see you in the next chapter.
Bye.